Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button to watch more interesting stories.
Deep within the whispering groves of Ìgbó Ayélabẹ, where the wind speaks in riddles, and the trees lean closer as if to hear secrets from the earth, a hunter named Adétúndé ventured beyond the bounds of his ancestors. He was no ordinary man, bold, curious, and driven by a hunger, not just for meat, but for stories that trembled on the edge of the unknown. That morning, as the golden sun filtered through the leaves like ancestral eyes, Adétúndé followed the trail of an antelope into forbidden terrain. Birds went silent, the air stiffened, and then he saw it, half buried beneath a carpet of moss, a human skull, ancient and gleaming unnaturally in the dim light. He bent to pick it up. "See glow?" The skull whisper, its hollow sockets glowing faintly. "Have you heard?" Adétúndé froze. The wind stopped moving. The trees held their breath. "I am not your enemy," the skull said again. "But you must not tell a soul about me. Keep me a secret, or you will awaken that which sleeps beneath." Adétúndé nodded slowly. His heart pounded like the Dusandun drum. He wrapped the skull in his cloak and buried it under a sacred tree, whispering an oath never to speak of it. But by the time he returned to Uluaro, the thrill had fermented into pride, and pride into temptation. That night, under a palm wine-soaked sky, Adétúndé gathered the village men, old warriors, palm tapers, and market women eager for a tale. He climbed atop a stone and said, "Let me tell you what I saw. A skull that speaks in the tongue of spirits." They laughed first, then listened. "It warned me not to speak. It trembled in my hands. But I fear nothing, not the gods, not the dead." The words left his lips like smoke rising toward angry heavens. The elders fell silent. The fire cracked. Somewhere far off, thunder rolled, though the stars were clear. That night, the winds shifted. At midnight, Adétúndé awoke to whispers in his hut. He sat up. His fire was out, his calabash overturned. A chill coated the air. Then he saw it. The skull sat at the foot of his bed, eyes burning like coals. "You broke the oath," it said, voice no longer gentle. "Now I break the seal." From beneath the village, something stirred. The earth groaned. Crops withered in their beds. Chickens screamed and ran in mad circles. Children woke crying. The moon turned blood red. Darkness poured from the forest like smoke. Shadows with twisted limbs crept from the trees. Voices rose, not human ones, but sounds from beneath the soil. Ghosts of the forgotten. Spirits of betrayal. The villagers gathered at the square, torches shaking in their hands. "What have you done?" they cried to Adétúndé. "What curse have you brought upon us?" But Adétúndé stood silent, trembling, as the skull hovered in the air, growing larger with each breath of wind. "You were warned," it thundered. "The mouth that cannot keep a secret must swallow its own curse." And before their eyes, Adétúndé's tongue blackened. His body withered. He collapsed into dust, blown away by the wind that had once carried his pride. The spirits turned to the villagers. "Let this be a lesson," the skull echoed, voice fading like smoke. "There is power in silence. There is danger in truth untamed." Morning came with a strange stillness. The darkness retreated. The forest sighed in relief. But the people of Uluaro would never forget. To this day, no one enters Ìgbó Ayélabẹ. No one speaks of the skull. And when children ask about the hunter who once bragged too loud, the elders only say, "There are some stories that should never be told, because even the dead are listening."